Testing all the levels, testing all the levels. I'm here to talk about my friend. My friend was Chadwick Boseman. He was my friend. I had the pleasure of knowing this young man personally as we studied martial arts together. And we spent about 3 years together. And you can go on Wikipedia or some of these other sites and see all of his accomplishments and all of his accolades and things that happened for him and things he did. I mean, he did a lot. He was just really a good person that wanted to do a lot for his community and really the world. He was a person that wanted to just see people happy, and he was just a kind individual. But I'm not going to get into his personal accomplishments at this point because you can look all that up. I don't need to re-go over all of that. I'm just going to spend a few minutes telling you about the man. And Chad Boseman was a extraordinary brother, extraordinary. I mean, if you were fortunate enough to actually get the opportunity to actually sit down with the brother for about 10 minutes and just talk to him. Yeah, he was just one of those type of people. He was one of those once in a lifetime people, man. One of those people you meet and really just, his presence really just gave you a good feeling. Just him being around. He was a good dude. We used to spend hours just talking. I remember telling him, you know what, man, I don't think this acting thing might not work. You need something, but you need a backup plan. I remember telling him that. I said, hey, man, you might need to get a little job or something, man, because this acting thing might not work out. All the while, he was filming 42 at the time, but he never said a word to any of us. He never said a word to any of us. And that's just the kind of guy he was, man. He was real humble cat, man, real humble brother. Never, wanted to have himself appear as though he felt like he was better than anybody, because he really never felt like that. He felt like he was just a person with an opportunity, and he was going to take advantage of the opportunity. That's what he felt. He never came off cross like, I'm better than you because I did this, I did that. He just was very unique cat. And I'm just here to tell you my story of spending time with him, because we used to talk for hours and hours and hours. They used to really have to kick us out of the dojo because we would just sit there and talk. I mean, we did all the working out, but we would just sit there and talk. And finally, our teacher had to come and say, hey, man, I'm leaving. I got to go. You guys got to get out of here. And we would just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Matter of fact, I got a key to the dojo because of him, because he and I would talk so long. My teacher gave me a key. And, he just would allow us to just continue those conversations. And it was really just a blessing. It was really a blessing to get to know the young brother and really just see him progress in success, but yet at the same time keep his same grounded vision and view of life. He was a very private person, so he didn't talk a lot about himself. He wasn't that type of guy. He was the type of man where he was more interested in your experiences and how he could learn from you. He really didn't consider himself with a lot to say as far as trying to teach another person. I mean, that fell into his lap as he became known, but he really wasn't like that he was a very humble brother. He was this man, Chad Boseman. He was the, because we used to call him Chad, so I still have to learn how to say Chadwick. He was the perfect. He was the perfect blend of humility, respect, power, and just intelligence. He was the perfect blend. He was in the sweet spot of all of those things coming together. And he was always very respectful. I mean, here he is. I'm telling him that he needs to probably get a job. And he was always very respectful to me. He never said, you know what, brother, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm shooting this movie. I've shot these other movies. I'm good. He never said a word to me about that. And not because he was trying to hide something from me. He just was respectful, and he was just about his work. He knew, I mean, eventually I was going to find out, right? And that's what happened. Eventually I did find out, and eventually I was so glad I was wrong. I was never happier to be wrong about his situation. But see, I remember way back. I mean, back in the day, I remember the green Honda Accord, the beat up Honda Accord with one red door. I remember that Chadwick Boseman. You know what I mean? Just real humble dude. Just awesome personality. Just somebody I'm glad to be able to say was my friend. He just was just a awesome person. Yeah, I know he did all of these movies and did all this stuff but behind the wall, behind the scenes, he was just one of them once in a lifetime people, man. If you got a chance to meet him, you would not be in awe of him. You would just be so glad that you were able to meet him, because he didn't want you in awe of him. What he wanted to be is have a brotherhood with you. He was just wanting people to be happy. That was his main goal in life, is to try to contribute to make people's lives better by using his craft. I think he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. And I think he did a lot consciously and unconsciously, just using his craft to put positive images out there of black men and black people, and showing that we can work with other races of people. We can do it. We just need to understand how to do that in a positive way to get positive change for not only ourselves, but the world. And that's what he was about, man. He was just a good dude. Just a good dude, man. I could go on and on and on. I mean, I used to talk to this brother, man, for hours at a time. We just sit there and talk for hours about all types of different subjects we would talk about. And he never was a person like, hey, he was a very private person. Even in those intimate settings that we were in where we would talk, he was still a very private person. He took the time to not go too far in telling the things about his personal life, because he just was that kind of guy. He wasn't, some people are just very private with their situation. And so they are, how's the word I want to use is, they're more guarded. And it don't matter who they are, who you are around them. It could be their family. They're just guarded about their love life and certain aspects of their life. But I'm just here to tell you, I met this man. I knew this man. I spent time with this man. I sweat with this man. I got hit with this man. He was strong. Oh, talking about a good athlete. Oh my gosh, the guy was strong as an ox. He was strong as an ox, fast as a cheetah. He hit me sometimes. I just be like, whew. I had to just like act like I was okay. Just keep rolling. Because I was supposed to be working with him. I had to tell him sometimes. I said, hey man, if you keep doing me like that, man, I'm gonna have to do you the same way. Oh, I'm sorry, because he just didn't know it's all straight. He did, a lot of times he just didn't feel like he was that strong, and I had to tell him, hey man, you are strong. You hit me like that, man. You maybe had to take a step back, man. But it was all good. It was all in learning. I loved him, man. And I feel like he felt the same way about me, man. He just was a good cat. Had a lot of what's the word I want to use? Responsibilities. And he was managing all of this at the same time, and he was managing it well, because I never saw the stress of it at all with him. Never saw it at all, and didn't know any of this was going on until I found out about his acting career taking off when he disappeared for about 6 months. We just didn't see him anymore. And so I thought that, well, maybe he went back to, the NYC. And he was back doing some stuff out there. Because, that's how pretty much most dojos go. You got people that float in and out, between things they're doing. But I thought, okay, well, maybe he got a gig back there or something, whatever. I see the 42 comes out, and they say it's Chadwick Boseman. I was like, Chadwick Boseman? Who's Chadwick Boseman? Oh, that's Chad. And something told me. I said, I said, let me give this cat a call, man. Let me see what's going on. Let me give him a call. But then I said, no, I better not, because maybe he's in the middle of some negotiations, and I don't want to be a distraction to that. I don't really know how the entertainment lifestyle goes for an actor that's goes from 0 to 1,000 in a day. I don't know how that is. I'm sure he had a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stuff. So we hadn't even really talked since about 2013. After that was the last time I actually physically talked to him. But like I said, we had so many just phenomenal conversations. The guy was just absolute beautiful person. And if you ever met somebody he wasn't fake. He wasn't a fake person. He was a real person. The person you seen all of those little videos and all of that where he was, happy, or he'd go visit sick kids and stuff. He was that person. They'd say, hey, Chad, you got to go and do this because it'll look good for you. They didn't have to convince him like that. They could just say, hey, he's the type of dude that they could just say, hey, look, they would like you to do this. It would really help these kids. Poof, away he went. He was that type of dude. He up and out of the bed. Gone. So, in closing, I just want to thank God that I was able to come across paths with this man, and he taught me so much. I know he thought I was teaching him because I did a lot of talking as well, but he taught me a lot. He taught me how to be humble. He taught me how to be a rock in a tornado, because I'm sure his life turned into a tornado with all of this, but he still held it together. So he taught me a lot. He taught me about humility. Very humble brother, never tooted his own horn, or none of that. He was just a very humble brother, and he was the type of brother that said, you know what, I'm going to let my work speak for me. I ain't got to be telling everybody what I'm doing and doing all that. I don't have to do that. That's, because we wasn't around him because of that. We was around him because he was a good brother. And I'm glad that I was there for that part of it. And yeah, he was just a good person. I'm glad he got all the roles. I was so happy for him. But I used to just think back to me sitting on that couch telling him, man, hey, you might need to get a job, man. Hey, but Chad, man, you might need to get a job, man. This acting thing don't work out a lot of times for a lot of cats, man. And I ain't saying this ain't gonna work out for you, but you might need to get a job, man. Cause you need to hedge your bets. I would tell them that, man. Almost every meeting, I would tell them that, man, because I cared about them. I wanted them to make it, but I wanted them to not be starving. And he would never say, Clarence, I did all these projects. I graduated from Howard. I got this. He never said none of that. He would just say, you know what, bro, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. Because you know why? He looked beyond what I was saying, and he looked to why I was saying that. He was able to look to see past that to my heart and my intentions. My intention was to help him. Even though he had it all going on, he didn't want to put that out there because, like I said, he was a very private person. And he just was not a dude that would toot his own horn. I did this, I did that, He didn't even roll like that. He didn't even talk like that. Oh well, sure, I do this, I did. He never rolled like that. If anything, he would just sit in the corner and listen to you talk. He'd sit there and listen to you and learn what he could from you. Even though he's doing all these big movies, he'll sit there and listen to you and learn from you. I just hope we all can learn from the quietness of the man, because if he didn't know you, he probably wasn't going to talk to you unless he felt like he could help you. That's the kind of guy he was. He wasn't going to just be, a group of dudes standing around just, chewing the fat. He wasn't that type of dude. He was like a purpose, a mission, always the mission. If I can help somebody, cool. If I can't help you, then, I probably need to just stay in my lane. Just type of dude he was. Anyway, you can hear the love I have for him. And, I would say and do a lot more, but I respect this man's family. I'm not going to come out here and be saying a bunch of stuff and putting a lot of stuff out there, pictures and video and all of that. I'm not going to put all that out there. I'm just going to say what I'm saying. And then if I can get any of this stuff to them, then I'll do that. And they can decide what they're going to do with it. But like I said, and I know I'm not the only one. I mean, practically everybody that met the man was just bedazzled by the dude, because he's such a different kind of guy than a lot of guys who are in his position. So I just say farewell to the brother. He was a good brother. We got him in our, those that really know him. We got him in our hearts, and we got him in our minds and hearts. And it was just a dramatic loss for the world and for those of us that actually knew him and loved him. It was a tragic loss, and I never got to say goodbye to my little brother, but I definitely will miss him and miss his laugh. He had that laugh that if you knew him, you heard that laugh. You just, he just had a laugh, man, that just, just woke up the room, man, just made everybody happy. You heard his laugh. It was just one of the laughs that made everybody laugh. But I, thank God that I was able to spend time with this young man and get to know him on a personal level before he actually blew up. And couldn't happen to a better guy. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Prayers go out to his family. Prayers go out to his friends, other friends. Prayers go out to anybody that ever met him and could feel the loss, because we all feel it. A lot of people feel it that didn't even get the opportunity to meet him personally, but just could see the kind of cat he was. And, I'm here to confirm that he was a good cat. He was a good cat. Because I don't have no reason to say this. I don't have no reason to come out and talk about him, except for I just want the world to know that underneath and behind the wall of all of these movies was a genuine, good-hearted brother. Genuine good heart. Genuine good heart. Just wanted people to be happy and just wanted to use his craft to make people happy. He wasn't about being rich and about having a bunch of money. He wasn't. When I met this brother, he was driving a Honda Accord, a green Honda Accord with one red door. And he was just as happy as a dude driving a Maybach. He was just, man, he just had a whole perspective that was just about life, that was just pretty unique, very unique. I have to sign off, my brother. I wish you well in the next part of your journey, whatever that may be. And but as far as us, we mourn your loss, but we love the fact that we met you and we got you in our hearts. And I can still hear those conversations in my head. I can still hear that laugh. I can still see that smile. Farewell, my brother. We'll miss you. Peace.